this video, I'll show you how I use AI to cut out silence in my videos. So for a 20-minute video, this would usually take about an hour to edit, but using AI, this just takes around 5 seconds. So it's a crazy difference. And now with that extra time, I can waste it on other things like watching 4 to 5 YouTube videos. So let me show you how you can do it. So the tool is actually called Auto Editor. And I know right now it might look really complicated, but it's actually very easy to download. So to download this code, you just need to do 2 things. Install Python and then install Auto Editor. So to install Python, all you need to go to is search Python on Google, go to downloads, and then click download Python 3.12.2 and then run the file. And the only thing you need to take note of when you're running is to check the add python.exe to path. You need to do that, otherwise you'll have issues later on. So go ahead and download Python, make sure everything's default. And then now once you have Python installed, you can now go back to Auto Editor and then follow these instructions. So all you need to do is type in pip install Auto Editor. And where do you type this? You type this in command prompt. So make sure you have command prompt open, type pip install Auto Editor, and press enter. Now I already have it downloaded, that's why it says requirement already satisfied. So now we can go ahead and use the tool. So I'm going to showcase it with 2 examples. Firstly, I got this video from like 3 years ago of me making a YouTube video that I never posted. So in this video, it has a lot of parts where I'm talking and where I'm silent. So now using the tool, we can easily get rid of all that silence. So how do we use the tool? So basically put your videos in a folder where you know where it's at. So right now I have it in C drive auto cut. So now we can open up command prompt. So to see all the instructions, you can read this through, but I'll just show you what I use. So to use the tool, all we need to do is type in auto-editor. That calls the program, and then now we need to input where our video is at. So our video is at C drive auto cut, so we can just click here and press Ctrl C to copy it. Now we can come back here, right click, and it auto paste it. So we have the file directory, and then now we want to type in what video we want to use. So I'm going to show you with this video from 3 years ago first. So we can type in the name and then press tab and it'll autofill in the name. And then now we could press enter right now. And this is what happens when we press enter. It's gonna get rid of the silence and then just keep the parts that are not silent. So right now it's exporting the video and it says it's gonna be done in a few minutes. So while waiting for that, for those new here, my goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers in 100 days. Right now is currently day 4 and we're currently at this amount of subscribers. So we've increased by 1 subscriber since day 1. Celebrate, which is amazing. So subscribe if you want to, I'd really appreciate it. Now enough of that, let's get back to the video. Okay, so as we can see now, we got the new video. So we can see that the old video was 14 minutes long, 13 minutes long, and now the new video is around 8 minutes long. So we can actually import this both into Premiere Pro, and if we play the new video, we can see that there's no silence. So this is how it sounds like. So let's get right into that part. So let's get right into designing. So let's get right into that part. So let's get right into designing. Okay, so for step 1, we need to come up with our designs. Okay, but for me, when it comes to editing, you want to be able to still manipulate things, because if you cut off too much stuff, you might want to bring it back. So let's say I want to do the same thing, but I want to export it to like Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro. So we can run the same command, but then all we need to add is -- export to Premiere. Press enter, and it's immediately done. Just like that, 2 seconds. And now we can import this into Premiere Pro, and then it creates this Auto Editor Media Group timeline. So I'll just call it new timeline so we know what it is. And when we click it, look at that, automatically edited for you in just 2 seconds. And just to show you that this actually works, you can add in 2 other settings. So these 2 other settings are video speed, we'll set that as 1, and silent speed, we'll set that at 9999. So basically what this does is that for when you're talking, the speed will be the normal speed of 1, and for the places where it's silent speed, if you set it to a really high number, it'll just cut it out. So let's say now, instead of having no silence, we just want the silence. So we can set the silent speed to 1, so that'll keep the silence, and then we can remove the parts that we're talking completely. And if we press enter, all done. So we can, now this is updated, we can drag this in audio. So now we can call this the silence. And now watch this. Pretty cool, right? So one really practical case that you can use this for is, let's say you're a student, right? So I'm currently a student. I have lectures to watch. However, usually in the lecture videos, there's usually a lot of like silence parts. So for this part, we can completely remove this. However, sometimes we still want to keep these silence parts because maybe they are writing something important on the board or they are typing out something important. So what we can do is we can run the code we can run it for the MIT lecture. So MIT lecture. And then we want the video speed to be 2 times speed. So we want it sped up. For the silent speed, we want it to be at 8. So this will keep the silent speed, but just speed it up even more. And then now we want to export this to Premiere. Press enter. Now we can come to Premiere Pro, import the XML file. Okay, so now we got it imported. I'm just gonna rename this so it's easier, lecture. So now watch this. So now we have our lecture. It's sped up by 2 times. And for the silence parts, it's sped up by 8 times.
I'm going to call it G. And then I'm going to say if G squared is close to X, stop, and return G. It's a good enough answer.
So if we look at the math, this video is normally 53 minutes and 29 seconds. So if we were to watch this video in 2 times speed, this would be around 26 minutes and 45 seconds. However, now that we sped up the silence parts, look how long it is now. 21 minutes and 31 seconds. So this tool is really useful. It's called Auto Editor. It's completely free. So that's all I have for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this tool is useful. If you want to help me on this ride to 100 subscribers, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. That's all I have for you. See you guys in the next one.